All right, we're here.
We here.
Woot woot!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Chronicles of the Grand Nation, The Silent War, episode 38. I am very glad to be back after a little tiny hiatus. Let's start by introducing our players. We will start with Vanoof. Please introduce yourself and your character.
Literally just had a premonition as I was like, let's start with characters. I was about to take mid sip of a drink and I stopped myself because I knew you were going to start with me.
Huh?
Hey, I'm Van, also Mike, also sometimes Drezel when the DM's not Drezel.
Brehik, please introduce yourself and your character.
I'm Xavier. Woo!
Sarah, please introduce yourself and your character.
Hi, I'm Anna. I play Tess. Glad to be back.
I'm Dylan. I play Muffin. Let's have fun. And Emily, please introduce yourself to the stream.
My name is Emily. I am the DM of this game. Woo! Also, unfortunately, our player Momo isn't feeling good today, so he will be absent from today's session. So everyone give him your get better please wishes.
Why the fuck did you say that in an uwu voice, Emily? Like, what the fuck?
I am dumb. Please, just
You
give us.
You literally went moo moo.
Please stop.
Let's take a second to give thanks to our wonderful character artist, Anna. Angela. Oh my god, I'm breaking.
No, hold on.
Good job, Anna. You're doing great.
Everybody is
Sorry,
like,
Angela,
I'm watching
you've
you
been
all
replaced.
fall apart, seeing you all collapse at this moment.
I like turtles.
You're all so sick.
You are a turtle.
Angela, thank you for the incredible art. And please go support her for the incredible art she always does. Tom, thank you for the incredible music, and again, thank you for releasing that music at the end of Act 1. Now, as Mo is not here, I will just remind the stream to please check out our merch store when you have the time. Anna, would you please give us a quick social media update?
But of course, make sure you are following us on all of our lovely social media: Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky. Come and join our Discord. We have fun over there, and I worked very hard on it, and it will make me sad if you do not.
Unless there's anything else,
That's it.
I think we can pass it over to you, Emily.
Can we really?
Can we?
Can we? Will you allow that?
I don't know.
Bob the Builder. Yes, we can.
Oh my god. Alright. So I gotta shut down Discord now because I'm like,
I did nothing.
Alright. Shut up. So, oh my god. Okay. Welcome back. So, we had left off last session after a very tense conversation between the Verdant Syndicate and our players. After having been exposed to the Verdant Syndicate hideout that was completely decimated with dead druids trapped in their wild shape, you had gone to seek out the Syndicate themselves, or at least what you hoped would be them. Spotting a familiar bird, you had chased it to the hideout, where you had started a very tense conversation with Mr. Elder Willowshade. I will take you back to that map as I am getting another thing or two set up here. So, having this conversation, we had left off with you, Brehik, having had shown your tattoos, do we want to pick it up from there?
Was anybody else wanting to? Because I know you guys went off and talked.
I don't think Van has anything to say without the conversation continuing unless Amari came out of the circle we're not allowed in. Otherwise, nah, I'm good.
Muffin
Yeah.
already said her piece.
Alright, so Briek, you had taken your shirt off, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Would you like me to re-show the art again? Because it's so good.
Yeah, sure.
Look at him! It looks so good! I love it!
Oh yeah, no more half messy bun. Or how did how did sorry. How did Tom say? No more Mr. Nice Guy?
Oh.
Such a bad joke. I'm sorry. It was not worth the wait. I apologize. But yeah. I mean, seeing the others growing frustrated, he would probably look back to Elder Willowshade and say, well, if this is Syndicate business, then I guess we will deliberate amongst ourselves and figure out what would need to be done on our end.
He would look you up and down as you step away.
Are they like making like a little blockade in front of the entrance? Is that what they're doing?
Not a blockade.
Or are they
Bronwick
talking?
went to go. Yeah, so not a blockade. Bronwick had turned to kind of go back inside, but you would have seen Amari and Ivy kind of stand up, and they seem to be, the four of them are kind of having a conversation.
Gotcha. Well, then I guess we should have our secret conversation over here, or over, yeah, there.
So like we're making our own secret club, is that what you're saying?
I guess so. Van would literally be like, oh, we're making our own secret club, and he will stand here and he will look at Brehik, because Brehik was the one that said, then we will deliberate on our end. And he will wait.
Over here.
I can tell you, I'm getting real sick of all this secrecy.
I guess you gotta look at it this way, Muffin. There is magic that makes it impossible to not have secrecy. For example, the dragon treasures and their whole we literally can't tell you because we were cursed with magic or it would kill us thing. I think this is something similar. And while it is annoying, I don't think there's anything we can do about it. Unless he like looks at Brehik.
Well, they are not willing to share business with outsiders. As it stands.
So it sounds like they're wanting you to join again.
Kind of shrug. It is a possibility. Doesn't seem like They would use this to chokehold, more so that they don't trust those outside of the circle. But I will have to speak with Elder Willowshade.
If it comes to that, are you willing to join again?
Kind of bites his lip a little bit.
I do.
Like a fuckboy.
I was gonna say, I was like, how does he bite his lip? Because there's two different ways to do it.
No, he like
This doesn't call for that, Mr.
frustratedly-
Brehick.
he frustratedly kind of like bites his lip, and he will say, "On my own terms, if it comes down to it."
Alright, well, we'll follow your lead.
Well, I guess that is a question. What do you want, Brehik? It kind of seemed like you might have wanted back in after your life experiences, but I don't know if that's the case.
I'm going to pull Elder Willowshade to the side, away from the Syndicate and everyone else. I have a few questions of my own for him that some are rather personal, but depending on how our conversation goes, we will either have the help and knowledge of the Syndicate, or Syndicate be damned, we will do it ourselves.
That second option seems to be the one that keeps happening, but I hope it's not this time. Are you going to ask him if he's your dad?
No. That is an answer I already have.
Is he your
Also,
dad?
is it really the time for that?
I mean, you never know.
I love that. Is this the time for that? Really?
Looks at Muffin. You never know. It could be important.
No,
Shrugs.
Muffin is right. There are far more important things right now at stake. And he coughs.
In an
My poor
accent.
boy.
He will hold the hands of Zell, who... Zell, are you okay? You are not saying it. I'm just kidding.
Do not
Kidding,
ask
joke.
me to roleplay Zell. I am
I'm
going
just
to
kidding.
butcher
I'm
it.
just kidding.
It's gonna be horrible. I cannot do Zell the
no.
justice.
He will hold the hands of Zell and Tess near him, or, you know, those standing near him. And say, we gotta... So whatever happens, I've got your back if you've got mine.
Are you expecting
Nod.
a throwdown?
No, but if they're going to be stubborn, and we are going to walk into something that we are unsure of, hell, even in this fucked up magnitude of nature, none of us can quite explain.
He said the
Then
F word.
I am willing. I'm betting we are going to, if we do not have their help, things are going to get hard, quick.
No problem. We got your back.
This is also kind of a personal question before you walk off to go have your important question, talk, whatever. Remember when we talked about the butcher before and you're like, oh, it was just a phase, Mom, kind of thing? And he just looks at your tattoos.
I got these when I was 15. No. I got these around when I was 18, 19.
This has nothing
So,
to do
yes,
with the whole
so-
thing of taking a pin into the hot springs, right? This is...
Well, No, that technically is also
Please tell
brandishing
Brehik, we'll talk
that I
about it
have.
later, as Muffin said. Now's not the time, but I really hope you didn't do what I think you did. Below the belt.
I I do have
I'm
one.
dying.
Yes.
I'm fucking dying.
It says nothing else.
Alright, you
I
heard.
remember you told. Oh, I remember me and Xavier's little chat one-on-one. I so distinctly remember him making it as a joke, and I forced it canon. I was like, "You can't joke
No,
about it and have it
you
not
don't-
be canon."
You don't understand. Angela has a new NSFW to draw.
I know, and you guys, and it's Brehik's sexy art has finally came out. So now, oh god, what have I
she
done?
said so much already, though. I don't want to stress her out. No, please.
Ugh.
Oh boy, alright.
So you walk up and you see them. They're sort of. You can tell Ivy and Amari look frustrated. And there seems to be like an air of like bickering almost amongst the four of them. Bronwick looks a lot more hard, stoic, I guess is like the word for it, right? Like his arms are crossed, he seems very unreceptive to what they're bickering about. Elder Willow shade a lot more calm about it. But Amari looks like she's about to blow her top. Like she has like a finger in Braun's face, just like, you know when someone's yelling and they're in your personal space? Like she is, like this little Eladrin girl is in this half-orc space. Like she's about to like throw a haymaker.
I would expect nothing less.
And you have Ivy sort of trying to diffuse the tension. But as you would walk up, they would kind of go silent. Except for Amari, who kind of like looks at you very sympathetically and kind of looks over your shoulder towards like Van and Muffin and Tess and Zell and kind of gives them like a little wave, but like obviously like she's still a part of what's happening.
Oh yeah. I went to wave earlier. I will wave again.
Obviously, yep, waiver.
Willow Shade looks at you.
As he approaches, he will say, "Excuse me, Elder. Let us go for a walk." Yes?
You watch as Bronwick goes to protest. Like he opens his mouth to, and Elder Willow Shade kind of puts a hand up to be like, "It's all right," and he'll give you a nod.
Okay. And, can you lead us somewhere that would be like, yeah, 2 tree stump, 2 little stumps?
Yeah, I mean, you two can sort of head somewhere a little more private, where the minute Willow Shade is like out of like the minute he's like out of sight.
There's a lot of stumps.
Oh yeah, but the minute he's like out of sight of the group, Bronwick would go back to what he was doing inside, so everyone sees. Amari would rush out, and Amari will have a whole conversation. But we'll start with Willow Shade first. Also, for those who forgot, Ella Willow Shade. This is Bron.
Fucking jawline. Jeez.
I know. I can never get over it.
I still stand by it. Elder Willow Shade gives me fucking Gilmore's Glorious Goods vibes. Just the like chin in the lips and the like goatee.
I still love the reveal that Bronwick wasn't always jacked and whatnot.
Yeah, that he was like an
Oh, yeah,
absolute
he was
nerd.
a nerdy boy.
He was the nerd boy.
He was a good boy. He was a good boy.
He was that
What
kind
did
of
you
boy.
do to him, Brehik?
He was. You don't understand. Bronwick was like that kid that would like look you in the eye and be like, "But that's lying. But that's stealing. Like,
Yes.
we're gonna get in
Yes.
trouble." Like,
You know that whole like thing about those kids with the little cavity caps are little badass kids. Yeah, that was Brehik growing up. But little fuckers. Yeah, and we will, as we sit, he'll say, "So, what kind of waters has the syndicate found themselves in? This one seems something that they cannot easily get themselves out. The first that I've seen before."
he sort of pauses because he's not really sure how to answer that. You see him like he's trying to pick and choose his words carefully. These are trying times indeed. I will cut to the chase. There's a reason this is syndicate-only business. And you made your stance very well known when you decided to leave. You were jumped out accordingly. You were dealt your punishment, and you parted ways. It was a great loss for us. But it was respected. You left before any real training could have begun. My only regret is I wish I had taught you something sooner.
Well, let's hope that you still have this opportunity. But I will make one stance clear, and if this is not something that we can come to terms or agreement on, then me and my friends will walk away from this. We will figure this out on our own.
Will not
And
succeed.
I will. What do you say?
He said you will not succeed. Not for lack of trying, or not that I don't want you to. If we could have a group of adventurers, heroes of the realm, come in and solve all of our issues, it would make our lives a hell of a lot easier. But the fact is, only a Verdant Syndicate member can truly assess the gravity of the situation.
Well then, he kind of smacks his knees, and he will say, "Let us hope that we can come to an agreement."
Which
Hold on,
brings me
Lachey.
to a
Oh,
It brings me
sorry.
to a proposal. He called you down. He's like, which I have a proposal. If you come back to the Syndicate, I will allow you to jump out again after this is done, if you so wish.
I assure you, the next time a hand is laid upon me, and I will tear it off. So, let's be sure that it doesn't come to this. Let's hope. He would say, let's hope. Now, I have a counter-proposal for you. I have lived much of my life in the understanding and acceptance of the secrecy of the guild, and now it's to the detriment of not only to my friends who I care about dearly, but to those, to my home, and my family. So, I tell you, you can hide whatever secrets that you wish from everyone else, but I will not be part of it.
You seem
You
to
will be-
misunderstand.
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
No, he just said that. He says you seem to misunderstand.
You have hidden many of the secrets from all of us, played your cards close to your chest. It is understandable, it is a smarter move, but if I am wiser, I'm smarter, and I am able to think for more than just a few seconds. Well, no, he will say, I am able to separate myself now from emotional reasoning rather than logical. I do not wish to be any sort of counsel to you, only to know if I am told something, I wish to know why it is. I do not want to have another situation with Thaddeus on my hands. Right, that was his name, Thaddeus?
Yes, that is.
Yes, okay. Never again. If you can promise me that, I think then we should have a fine agreement.
If you were to join again, I will teach you what you need to know, and I will explain everything that I couldn't before. That was my biggest mistake. Was not training you like Thorn advised. I kept you in the dark and I shouldn't have. But I asked, and this is... and he will awkwardly clear his throat, right? And you will watch as he kind of sits up a little straighter on the stump. And he puts his hands on his knees a bit. And he kind of bows his head a little. And he says... We cannot save the essence of nature without your group's help. But only a Verdant can get this information. So I'm asking, please, if only temporary, join us again.
You told me once, if I walked away and I ever came back, the next time I left would be with death. So I will tell you this. I still accept, but I look him in the eyes and I will say, but understand, I will never kill another man again that I do not agree with.
Your prerogative is your own. I'm not here to influence that.
Hey, before I didn't have a choice, now I do. He will stand up. He will hold like a forearm out, like do the bro grasp, and say, I will take the rebranding this time. Full
He will shake your hand, and he will say, very well, then I have my own confession to make. You were never actually branded.
Huh? Nani?
You were given all symbols, yes, but you were never given all abilities. The actual power of the Verdant Syndicate. You could say you weren't, that's the word schools use, graduated.
That is being my final test that I failed.
You did
I
not
see.
fail. The
Did you
secret to being... No, you're good. He goes, the secret to being in the Verdant Syndicate is that you have to make hard choices. You have to be able to ascertain when something needs to be done, even if you don't want to do it. Even when it feels wrong. Even when everything tells you you shouldn't. But if you know it's for the greater good, and it's to keep and maintain balance, then you do it. Those who take joy in doing it have no place in the Verdant Syndicate, and those who are too weak to avoid the task completely won't be strong enough.
Did you have a feeling that one day I would be back? Answer me honestly.
I hoped. That's all we can really do.
Very well. Let us not keep others waiting while there's horror that lurks.
Yeah. He nods and you'll walk back with him, but before you walk back around, meanwhile, Amari and Ivy, as soon as Willowshade had gone around the corner with Bree, they would run out of the hideout. Amari would immediately throw her arms around Van and Zelina, give them like a big hug, and then give Muffin like her own hug.
Wow.
Muffin
Whoa.
hugs tightly.
I think I just felt what a dad does. Holy shit. No, like, it's like, oh, one arm Zelina,
Get your
one
hands
arm...
off my fucking daughter.
No, one arm on Van, one arm on Zelina, like, oh, I'm so glad to see you. And then Muffin just like, but I'm really glad to see you. And it's like, oh god.
Yeah,
Ow.
that's exactly what it is.
Van's
Okay,
soul
Mari?
took damage.
Amari gives a nod and like a tentative smile, and she goes, I've been better, but you know what? It's, you're here now, and as long as everything goes okay, and, Bronwick and Elder Willowshade get their head out of their ass, everything should be fine.
Well, are you allowed
I'm
to talk
gonna-
about what happened?
Yeah, I want to
Yes.
give Van a subtle look and see, like, do you want to talk privately with Amari?
We'll see.
Unfortunately, I'm not really allowed to, talk about it, too much. I'm a trainee, sort of, I guess. They found out I could, it's a really long story, so I guess, oh god, where do I start, actually?
It's been a month.
A lot happens in a month.
No, I know a lot happens in a month.
And she,
But you
like, flicks
said-
her ponytail to make a point.
She's like, you literally said it's a long story. It's not that long if it's a month. Continue.
I could just not tell you.
He does the, like, older brother ruffles hair annoyingly because her hair's probably all put up nicely. Says, well, I thought you weren't allowed to tell us, but no, you can tell your story of how you found your way to yet another organization. At least this time it's not a cult. He pats her on the shoulder.
I mean, the Celestial Conclave wasn't a cult.
Nope, the one before that.
Oh, right, yeah, that
With
was
the dragon
anyways.
and the cultists.
Yeah,
like the
that was-
actual
that was.
cultists and yes, yeah, that one.
It was still sort of fun, but no, okay. Well, So after everything sort of happened in the capital, and so I started messing around with like druid stuff, and it turns out I'm kind of good at it.
Right, I remember you talking about it.
Well, apparently, there's a lot more to being a druid than I thought. And, I was spending time with Thorn, who was teaching me some things, and Thorn mentioned, like, wanting to, get actual training. So he offered that he take me here to see what it was like being a druid, and I actually really like everyone here. They're like their own little family.
Muffin goes, ugh, Thorn.
She looks really sad when you say that.
No, yeah, I hold up a hand when I see you get ready to scoff and say Thorn, and I'm like, we don't see Thorn here, and these are the only survivors. Thorn's probably fucking dead. Yeah, like he like holds up a hand, like wait.
Thorn's in a predicament at the moment.
So he's not dead, right?
We don't know. We're assuming he's being tortured by the mayor of Wynbrook, but we don't actually know anything. All of our spies were killed, so...
I retract my ugh.
Yes, alright. Well, I figured we were going to have to pay them a visit anyways. And I know you can't tell us information, but we have our own theories. I'm not as super connected to nature as you druid guys are, but I can tell that what's happening here and what Brehik mentioned, there's probably something happening to the guardian or essence of nature or something here. Wasn't aware that was a thing, nor was I aware there was one here. What I don't know is what caused it.
It's a lot, yeah. I mean, hopefully if everything turns out well, we can work together. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what we're going to do.
Well, I'm taking a gamble. Looks at Muffin and Tessera. That the new mayor that showed up has something to do with it.
New mayor, old mayor, it's sort of like a running thing.
Well, according to Brehik, the previous mayor was perfectly fine. Was the previous mayor not perfectly fine?
And she kind of like looks to Ivy, who just smiles and goes, classified.
Ah. So we either will have to find out on our own, or we'll figure it out in about 30 minutes. Well, wonderful.
Say, go ahead.
No, he's just wonderful. That was all he said under his breath.
I would say around now, Elder Willow Shade and Brehik would come around.
So, Ivy, were you leading us here with your bird?
She just smiles, kind of like taps the end of her nose a little bit, and goes, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Gotcha.
Like,
I looked at Brehik. What's going on, bud?
Syndicate business. I'm just kidding.
I think you would get punched directly in the face by Muffin. Is what would happen.
Fuck. I couldn't.
the syndicate business walks inside, closes the door behind him.
Just kidding. Goddamn.
That was the funniest shit. No, that's a new T-shirt we should have. Just syndicate business.
Oh fuck. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. He will say, we talked and we came to an agreement. I think we should all go inside. Or I look to Elder Willow Shade like, is people coming out here? Are we going inside? Can we even go inside? But
able to go inside.
Okay.
Can we go inside?
He
Enough.
would give you all a nod.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Look at us. Look at us all
I
nature
will-
boys and girls walking inside.
I link arms with Amari and walk in.
Ooh,
She links
ooh,
arms with
ooh,
you and walks
ooh.
in.
Hold on.
Who just went underneath me?
You went over her.
Shh, no, I didn't. Sorry, I just like the idea of Druzzle sitting in one of the stumps.
You are perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Talk amongst yourselves while I do this then real quick.
Well, he walks in, looks at the room, looks at
How does
Broadway.
Bronwick look?
Yeah.
Yeah, how does Bron feel about us being in here, considering the tiff he made?
He's probably smirking, that little fucker.
He doesn't look happy.
Shocking.
And seeing you come in, Brehik, and he kind of like looks back and forth between you and Elder Willowshade, and he nods like he accepts it, but he doesn't look thrilled still. But he's like not saying anything.
Oh. As we're sitting down, just... Broadwick, you do gotta tell me your workout routine at some point. I was not aware of how much gain you actually had.
My God.
Damn.
Oh my God. He looks at you over the table and says, maybe later.
None. Well, before we get down to this, I don't know what's more pressing, but I take it that on top of whatever nature guardian essence thing that is going on, we need to rescue Thorn from the mayor.
Elder Willowshade shoots a look at Amari, and Amari puts her hands on her hips and says, that wasn't classified.
Yeah, she's right.
Muffin slowly goes in his eyesight, looking at him.
I feel like there's like two people like, don't look at her.
Yeah.
I feel like because Muffin's in front of her, she has a little bit of a boast of confidence, so she's doing the like two fingers to Willow, two eyes to her, like watching you, but she's like behind Muffin doing it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of like a scoff from him. Like he's annoyed, but he's not annoyed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can tell he might have a soft spot for new recruits.
Especially after 90% of his organization just died.
Uh-huh.
I think he's gonna have a soft spot for anybody at this point.
There's a few murmurs and like whispers when you walk in though, Brehik. Some of which you can kind of hear. Oh, actually, all of you would kind of hear it. But just like, so wait, is he back? Is that actually him? I mean, I heard about the butcher, but is that actually him? He murdered someone with like his bare hands. Doesn't he have like a dick tattoo? Like just like this murmur of like just like it's like you're very well known.
Frihig does go in with like a very stone face.
Go.
And he would like, if people are talking, he will look around, like scan around the room.
I now have to put into my notes that he also
Yeah.
apparently has a dick tattoo. I can't believe that.
You know, Bronwick said this at the wedding, and everybody was like, "Oh, ha, 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 ha." No, it was a thing.
Wasn't a funny haha.
It wasn't. It was a funny haha for everyone else. It was like a ha 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 for me.
Alright.
God. But you do see like a nice variety. You see like another deep gnome, an elf or two, halfling, a bugbear, lizard folk, a satyr. And Elder Willowshade would say, "All right, we have reinforcements. Our plans are changing. We're going to reinstate Briac Moonshield into the Verdant Syndicate, and we're going to give him access to the Great Tree." And then immediately this flood of just like, what? Are you serious? Like, why the fuck would you do that? What are you talking about? This entire, like, disgruntled wave of voices.
Can I look at Brihick and just mouth the words "Great Tree"? Like, what the fuck?
Brihick with like an all serious face looking around the room sees you for just a sec and then gives you just the barest and faintest and quickest bit of like a wink. Like a wink.
What?
And it keeps okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
I was thinking about doing an eyebrow wiggle, but it's okay. The wink is more subtle.
This is the fun Brihick. You're gonna get fun Brihick for like 2 episodes. Go
Damn.
back to making muffins.
Damn.
I shouldn't say fun. I should say like rebellious.
Wait,
The
making
sassy
muffins?
Brihick.
I didn't realize.
Or like cookies or whatever. Don't make it what it's not. Stop.
I didn't know he made muffin.
Stop! You know what I meant, you filthy animal.
What?
She's a half halfling, not a half gnome. Stop it, you.
Come now. My dad is frozen, Mike. How could you do this to me?
Yes, how could you?
Was he frozen before or after you were conceived? Because that would change a lot of things.
Oh
That
my
would-
god, stop.
Jesus.
I feel uncomfortable. I want to go home.
There's a lot of fucked up shit that happened at mortuaries. Anyways, go ahead.
Oh my god.
Anyways, we're moving on from that
Do we
entire
need to talk to you off the game, Mike? Do we need to talk to you?
What are you
He
talking
talks to you
about?
about etiquette.
What etiquette? We're not big enough to get banned.
That's not what I meant. Human decency.
Whoa, sure. I lost that when I started working for the government.
Oh, that hurts. Anyways, as there's this flood of like whispers of people protesting, you can tell Willowshade has this expression of like, I am not brokering any arguments on this. Like this is what it is, set in stone, right?
I have a legitimate question. Does he have his own like little step stool to stand at this table?
It's low. Everyone
Oh,
else
the
has
table.
their knees to their
The
chest.
table's really low.
Everyone looks like they're sitting at a kindergarten table,
That
but it's
is-
like chest to hip.
That is a leader power play of like, nah, fuck you. You all are gonna be at my height.
Yeah.
Damn.
Interesting.
And he will say, after we initiate Brihick Moonshield, hopefully we'll be able to connect him with the ley lines, and then we'll be able to root out the source of the corruption.
Gotta raise a hand.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a whole connecting to ley lines to root out the source, are you not capable of doing that?
Most of us are. We can feel the corruption. We can sense it. Our problem is we can't go anywhere near it.
Because you'll turn into animals and die?
He nods.
Well, wouldn't motions to Brihick he also do that?
I don't believe so.
I make a motion of, like, explain.
Brihiko himself will say, and if it is something that will happen, if it is a way that I can get you all in, then it is a risk that I am willing to take.
Okay. Well, then can we start off with Guardian? Essence of nature?
As I am about to explain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Emily trying to find the starting point, so bear with me. He goes, Druidic magic is an ancient craft that has been honed by centuries amongst the people of the Crouzyan Empire. The Crouzyan Empire is the home of Druidic magic. We are the origin of the ley lines and the founders of the Great Tree.
Huh. Wild.
At least we were until events took place. People came into power, civilizations developed, empires were built. The more civilization grew, the more unsteady she became. She's tried for coexistence. She has tried for millennia to have coexistence with the Empire. Unfortunately, we ran out of time.
Okay.
You see, Druidic magic is not a well of power that we draw from. It is a gift given to us. The guardian of nature, Amaya, is the founder of all that is nature, and the Verdant Syndicate has been their guardians for, again, millennia. We were tasked with maintaining the balance between civilization and nature. Should one succeed over the other, both would collapse. This is the first time it has ever gotten so dire.
Well, if I can have some clarification names, how do you spell her? No, I'm kidding. I do want to know how to spell it. But you would say
A-M-A-Y-A, Emily, or?
Close! IA.
A-M-I-A?
Yes. Amaya.
And she was the origin of nature in the world. Like, Crouzyan
Yes.
Empire was the origin of druidic magic, but the origin of just nature in general was this
Yes.
individual. And they're not
Yes.
a god, they're like a primordial or something?
Kind of, yeah. They're more primordial than anything.
Okay.
They are a being older than the gods, he would explain. And that the Verdant Syndicate's true mission is to basically be her bodyguards. Their whole job is to maintain the balance between nature and civilization, which is why they go to such radical extents, because without it, one would overthrow the other, and then this would happen.
Right. Which he would note on that, Van would say, well, at least it explains why you're doing the things you are. And if I'm understanding it correctly, you literally can't tell people about this for the reason of you are magically inclined to not tell people, or the idea that if you told people that nature was a deity or a primordial being, that they would come and hunt it down.
We are not magically compelled to keep it a secret. If people were to learn, yes, they would try and hunt it down. But also, nature could be held as hostage. If people learned how sentient nature truly was, then it becomes vulnerable. It becomes a liability. The last thing we would want is for nature to become a hostage against humanity.
Hmm. Sorry, I'm taking notes if somebody else wants to talk. So what we're seeing outside of Wynbrook is what could happen to basically the entire world if this isn't fixed over time.
Precisely.
Alright. Here's the next question. You mentioned that they have tried to coexist for a very, very long time. Well, this... Forgive me, I'm from the Feywilds and the nature works a bit different there. This seems like this still happened too soon. Like somebody specifically did something somewhere or near here that accelerated it.
You catch on quick. Kind of sighs, looks at Bree sympathetically. The previous mayor of Wynbrook was a part of a cult called the Dragon Treasures.
I've never been.
We've been monitoring their progress for some time, and we had discovered that there was an ornate dagger that he was using in a ritual. He wanted to tame Amaya. He wanted to be able to make artificial druids, if you will. You see, druids are not druids by choice or practice. They are selected. They are handpicked by Amaya herself. And Amaya only picks those that she deems worthy of those powers. Thaddeus didn't care for that, so he sought to make their own.
Is Thaddeus dead?
Yeah.
He is. The new mayor, however, seems to be a lot more troublesome. Handpicked by the Emperor now. However, we have reason to believe that Thaddeus had left information, journals, notes, things that the new mayor was able to pick up and relay to the Emperor. Now, we suspect that in order to gain the Emperor's favor, he's trying to pick up Thaddeus's old research.
So do you believe that the Emperor is in favor of Thaddeus's work? Could it
That
be
I do not
suspected
know.
that-
If the Emperor sent you to investigate, looking for, well, if we're being honest, he probably sent you for something unrelated to Wynbrook, as word hasn't gotten out yet.
Well, he sent us to kill you. If you want to be honest, yeah, he technically sent us to kill
I
the
don't
Dragon
think he sent
Emperor.
us to kill.
Well, sorry.
He sent us to go.
No, he came after
Yeah.
the Azarnian rebels, but he made the comment that
Yeah.
the Verdant Syndicate had ties to them and to also deal with them. Like he hinted deal with the Verdant Syndicate.
Yeah. Well, it was more like if they get if they get in your way or if something. I forgot how it was phrased, but yes,
Any
he
means
wouldn't
necessary.
be upset if they went
Yeah.
missing.
Van would
Heavy implications.
Yeah, let me reword that then. Van would say, well, he sent us to clear out a bunch of Azanian rebels that were supposedly here that also had ties to your organization, And I'm pretty sure he hoped that we had to deal with you too in order to get to them.
We do have ties to the Azanian rebels, but not in the way the Emperor thinks. Unfortunately, he thinks too one-dimensional. My point, I don't believe the Emperor fully understands what's happening in Wynbrook. And if we were to reach out to ask for aid, I don't know if he would give it. It's possible he could. If that was a last resort, we would. However, the last thing any of us want is for this information getting into the Emperor's hands. For that, I will die on this soil for.
I guess that's the question of how much information this new mayor has given him. Because
You don't think he's trans... Go ahead.
Because if he's condoning what is happening here or the creation of artificial druids, then we are going to have a very big problem.
I don't believe the Emperor is aware. And he'll kind of look at Amari when he says this. And he says... He looks to Amari and then looks to Brehik. Thorn was apprehended several days ago, before everything went to shit. We believe he's being held hostage with the new mayor. But we trust Thorn that he wouldn't have given away any of our information or our location.
And you don't think he's going to use Thorn to try to create more druids by experimentation?
I can almost guarantee you he will.
Well, then is he our first priority?
Unfortunately, no. And he says that like it's hard for him to say.
He did raise that boy.
Our first priority needs to be stopping the corruption at the roots, then dealing with the mayor.
Oh.
No.
Oops,
Was
sorry.
it? I'm sorry. So, this is something that has been vexing me. Was what he will put his hand on his chest and lower his head and say, "Apologies for what happened at the Syndicate. Our condolences to everyone that has passed." And with he will let a moment of silence pass, and then he will follow that up by saying, "Now, what happened there, was that the doings of the corruption? Was it Amaya herself, or do you believe it might be something to do with this mayor and his findings?"
It was Amaya. They are not what they once were. They travel along the ley lines and they kill everything in their path. At the Syndicate, the druids had gone wild. They were forced to shift into their animal forms. They lost all sentience of humanity, and then they died gruesomely.
And I'm taking it because your gifts of druidic magic come from them, so they can control it.
He nods.
Well, this poses a very interesting question, then. I didn't get, and unless I'm wrong, your nature being doesn't transfer into the Feywilds, correct? Or do they?
The Feywilds are a separate plane from us. Their rules would not be our own.
Well, then that just makes me curious I could understand that if Amari started showing druidic abilities after being here because they were chosen by Amaya,
I'll be right back.
but I already had ranger capabilities, which I'm assuming is also the same thing that Amaya would give somebody. Would you have any type of understanding of how this would reflect in terms of being near this creature that can take control of nature magic if it wasn't from them?
From what I've seen, your magic stems from the Feywilds themselves. Rangers are more self-taught, from my understanding. You connect well with nature, you work hand in hand, but you are not born of it. And since you are from the Feywilds, I don't think you would have a harder time. I would be more concerned for Brehik, but something tells me that they'll do just fine.
Why do you keep saying that? Does he have, like, a golden acorn or something that he found as a child that's going to prevent this? Or was he, I don't know, the favorite of Amaya before he left the Verdant Syndicate?
I don't think it's anything like that. Technically, he's not a syndicate, not in blood. There are no druids that are not a part of the syndicate anymore. We are the last of the druids.
Mm-hmm.
My suspicion is that because Brehik is not a Verdant Syndicate, he technically did not fail in the Syndicate's mission, so he may be able to get through to Rome. Think of it more of like a curse.
Interesting. Would this, points to Amari, apply to her as well?
Unfortunately, she was with us when the tragedy struck, so yes.
Is there a ley line underneath this tree?
There are ley lines everywhere throughout the woods.
What I mean is, could that Amaya, in their corruption, show up here any second, theoretically?
We prepared walls to fend them off, for a time being. However, we did plan to leave to evacuate Wynbrook if we didn't have a solution in time.
Well, that is another weird question. Why is Wynbrook not affected by what's happening with the nature around it?
Oh, we suspect it has something to do with the mayor.
Alright, well,
But to be fair, we don't know.
then you should probably start doing the magical christening of Brehik so we can find where Amaya is and deal with it. Now here's the real question. How do we deal with it? Is it as simple as putting a couple arrows in them? Do we have to weaken them so that a ritual can be cast? How does this work?
That we don't know.
Great.
Right now, the only thing we can think of is to kill it. But the repercussions of that, we don't know. There has to be a way to restore Amaya to her pure state.
T-pose at her to establish dominance. Sorry, I'm back. What did I miss?
I was just
I heard
asking
the
a
last
bunch
part.
of questions about
Okay.
what is the actual goal other than Brehik gets christened, we find out where they are, and we kill them? Question mark. and then we deal with the mayor. That is about what they've told us that we're allowed to do.
Wait. Why do I have to get... Oh, never mind. Some reason I thought christening is when they, snip the fork.
Oh,
No,
circumcised, you mean?
that's circumcision. No,
Well,
I was not
no,
saying go
no,
circumcise
no.
Brehik. What?
The Jewish when they become, they call it the christening, and they, I was like, no, but
He was meaning as in like the christening of like we're christening you with the
I know,
blood of the
I know,
tree or some shit. Like
never, that's why
But Elder Willow Shade will say-
inside.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. No, I'm sorry. My inside thought came outside, and it shouldn't have. That was it.
He'll say, if you're needing to rest here for the evening, you can. Like I said, the wards on this place should be strong enough for a time being. Otherwise, we need to figure out how to turn Amaya back. That is something we don't know.
So, when we're out doing this, what are you guys going to be doing? Just protecting or keeping that ward up?
That, but we're also going to secure a route to hopefully rescue Thorn. It's either going to be a search and rescue or a search and recovery.
Okay.
looks.
I do.
So good.
He says, I do apologize to all of you.
About what specifically?
For being
Because
unable
it-
to explain things properly before. But also, I'm sorry you've been put into a position that you have with the Emperor.
I hold my hand up. I only accept the apology with keeping things away. Everything else about helping, about aiding. Well, firstly, Brehik likes you, so we help, because Brehik's a member of our team. And second, it's just the right thing to do.
He nods.
Really, if we're looking at it, apologizing for the weird between position that we've been put in with the Emperor, I mean, looks at Brehik like, can I talk about this here?
Brehik no longer seems bothered.
We have misgivings and or beliefs and thoughts regarding our dear Emperor and his current reign over this country.
Which makes sense, considering the position you've been put into.
Yes, we found out we were told basically being advertised as his personal attack dogs that were used to make him not look bad because we solved problems that he just wasn't solving. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I remember. And I also remember the last group that he deemed heroes of the realm.
What?
There was another one?
Well, looks like we're sharing tea and we have a nice cozy tree to sit in. There was a last group.
There was, some time ago.
And also, you need to explain your connection to the Zarnian rebels too, but do this first.
Emily, would that be like something that history books would have known of? Would that be a prominent thing?
Considering Brehik's obsession, you knew there were like various heroes of the realm. maybe if anything, maybe you didn't realize they were a group, or like you didn't understand like, oh, these were like a group appointed by the Emperor. You know what I mean? How when you hear Heroes of the Realm, you think of iconic people.
Yeah.
So you would have heard of that there were other Heroes of the Realm, but realizing, oh wait, there was just another group that he had deemed Heroes of the Realm, you're like, oh my god, that makes sense.
Gotcha.
It's a pattern.
It's a pattern. He would say they were good heroes. I mean, they did their best and they protected quite a few people.
But
Unfortunately, they went missing.
Have you ever actually seen the Dragon Treasures? The Dragon Treasures aren't the previous heroes, are they?
No, they are not.
He does like a ooh.
Did you know the description of any of the previous heroes?
They were a motley bunch. A halfling, there was a tiefling, a human. One of them, I'm sure, was some sort of warlock, but they were never admitted out loud.
Wait, hold on.
It's us! It's us!
No, I look at him, I was like, did we not find bodies matching that description before?
Wait,
found
Sarah,
notes.
bust out the fucking notes.
We did. It was in the water temple before. Yeah.
When we found the prophecy.
When we found the prophecy, there was dead bodies dressed up like them. We don't necessarily know if it was them, but.
Oh, I don't like this.
Yes, your dad might have dealt with the previous heroes.
Actually, this is. Is it not odd that we meet the same description of the previous heroes of the realm, Mr. Willow Shade?
Like, he thinks about it for a minute, raises an eyebrow and goes, I mean, there's only so many variations of magic in this world, but I guess you could say there's some similarities.
Here I was thinking that maybe Garland was one of them. But nope, it's us. Hey, what if we're time travelers?
Oh, no.
I think we would know if it, unless it wipes your memory when you time travel.
Oh, we've been.
No,
to...
I mean, like, what if later in our lives we go back in time?
No.
I love the spiraling.
No, he just looks at both. He's like, no, that is literally what happens in the Feywild. If you go to the Feywild and you're not of elven descent or Fey ancestry.
Oh god, now all of us. No, don't feed into this. You're supposed to be the sensible one.
No, when you said, well, unless it wipes our memories, and it's like, maybe we went back in time, and I'm like, no, we just probably went to the Feywilds.
But if you're asking for our connection to the rebels, if we're being honest, we are loaning them druids to send back to Azania to help rebuild their land and restore nature. Destruction and war tends to be very costly on the land. Blood does not make good fertilizer.
Sorry.
Damn.
Actually, since we're having a good old fun time, Brehik, can you share that one painting you have? I have questions that our old druid here might be able to answer.
Proof that I still have a certain
contraband.
painting.
Yeah, you still have contraband on you. Technically.
Well, I know, but it's you got to understand. Everybody here, like excluding you guys, thinks Brehik went goody goody two shoes, too good for, and then pulling out illegal contraband. But yeah, he will pull out the painting and put it on the table.
Little bit of pride from Elder Willow Shade, just a little bit. A little bit of a like, that's my boy energy.
God.
So, we've seen things. For one of which, we know that he was human, and a goblin shaman had explained or shown me a vision of when the second princess died that really made me question what actually happened. Would you, I don't know secrets, and it's why he doesn't like you?
I will admit, part of the reason the Emperor doesn't like me is that I knew him when he was in diapers.
Interesting.
Oh.
I was a close advisor to his father.
Okay.
Was his father similar to him, or was he? I don't want to say a better man like out loud, but like I'm implying that.
I mean, if anything, the current king is significantly a better man.
That's worrying.
That is actually worrying.
That is a little concerning.
Edric has his flaws, but he always had a good heart growing up. I don't know what changed him at some point.
Well, I have theories, I guess.
But if you're asking about Andrews, yes, I knew him.
Well, was he actually the vial that was so problematic that he just slaughtered the second princess and all this?
Andrews the Vile was his full title. He was very dedicated to his magic studies, tended to dive a lot into necromancy, and had a fascination with abjuration magic.
Well, I guess that answers why he's back. Necromancy, at least.
He's always been seen as a brilliant mind, but cruel, uncaring. He was a public enemy since I've known him. I've never spoken to him, but I knew of him.
Was he actually connected to Azonia?
That I don't know. I know he would often visit Azania, but whether or not he was connected is beyond me.
I said what I said.
That's a theory.
Well, one of my current theories, at least about our dear Emperor, he seems like he wanted what was best and to do really good for this nation. But eventually that just kept getting more and more questionable. And I'm almost curious if the death of his daughter was more of a reason to kill Andros the Vile and to unite the nation, no matter who did kill her.
Unfortunately, I'm inclined to believe your theory. I believe he didn't wish for his daughter's death, but I do believe he took advantage of it the best he could.
Well, and what the dragon treasures are saying, I'm very inclined to believe that maybe the second princess did it intentionally.
That, unfortunately, I don't know. But you are helping us. You are aiding the Syndicate. And for that, we will be inclined to give you a reward. One properly suited for adventurers of the realm. Heroes of the realm.
Oh?
Oh, hey, no, thank you. Have a good day. Wow, look at that, guys.
Yeah, get actually paid. Not in hush money, too.
Well, it wouldn't be money.
No, I know.
Muffin breathes a sigh of relief.
will
Van
give you
looks at his Van looks at his +1 bow, a +2 bow. No, I'm kidding.
We will give you access to our teleportation circle network.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well, that would be very useful to not have
That's
to
very
walk.
nice.
One
Every-
not monitored by the Emperor, mind you.
Oh, that's double nice.
I like that.
Two things. Would you be able to, I don't know, give us all some type of stop him from potentially scrying on us or his mages doing it?
Well,
Looks at Brehik like, listen. It's not
No,
like it's
that
good to
was-
be safe,
was
but
me.
also
No,
like
that was me in like the as if I were Elder Willowshade going
BD milk. That's what he says.
unfortunately, even if we were to give you, let's say, an amulet to protect yourselves or some sort of ward, he could just scry on the next person or the next object. If the Emperor wants information, he is going to get it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Have you heard any news about a sentient displacer beast fucking around here?
He raises an eyebrow in the most, like, what the fuck? What in the off-topic question is that?
Well, because... Well, alright. Nature in the Feywild is different. We want a little history lesson. There was a Fey Lord in the Feywilds that tried to fuck over nature. I don't know if it's exactly like the way this mayor is, but something similar. So he got cursed to become a displacer beast. And I pat Drezel on the head, and Drezel here was once his companion, who was cursed to take his form, occasionally. Looks at Drezel. Like the say something look, like...
woof.
We're in a fucking tree with druids! Speak, motherfucker!
He looks at Elder Willowshade and everyone. Willowshade looks at your dog, and there's a long silence. And Elder Willowshade goes, well, if the cat's out of the bag, it's nice to meet you again, Drezel.
Ah, shit, of course.
And Drezel huffs and goes, I guess it is. And he just looks at you, Van, and kind of puts, like, his head in your lap a little bit.
Well, before I continue the story, do you two know each other? Is this a thing?
Willowshade says, I've met his, I guess you could say, partner some years ago.
You're telling me you've met my twink dog before?
You could see,
So wait, you're telling
you
me...
could see, you could see Brehik trying to like hold it, like put his hand over his mouth and just try to like hold it, a little bit of a chuckle.
Oh, so you met... What's the fucker's name? It's in my notes, but it's really far up. What's the name of the Failord? No, that's the Ponytail Gang. No.
What?
Namalith.
No, Mullet. No, I have a note on session 30 that says Lambert is a part of the Ponytail Gang and has learned more words.
God.
It says, so you knew Namalith before he became a displacer beast that ripped off my arm and is now sentient, hunting me down?
Well, that's one way to learn about what happened, but yes, I did.
Interesting.
I recognize Drezel, but it felt rude to ask, hey, what happened to your last owner? Considering.
Consider.
Wow. Looks at Drezel with his head in his lap like, you know, it would have been a lot easier when we first met on the Willowshade if you just said, hey bro, what's up? It's been a while.
Russell looks up at you and goes, "It was irrelevant at the time."
Speaking of our first meeting with you, Willowshade,
Wittershade.
were you at the capital because you were currently investigating the treasures?
If we're being honest, we teleported to the capital from one of our circles.
Mm-hmm.
Once we heard that news was, well, went to shit.
Did you come to save Mr. Brehick?
That was a coincidence, but I'm glad we showed up when we did.
I looked to Brehick. What's he feeling like?
I want to insight that, but no, it's okay.
He's like, we didn't know you'd be there, but we're glad that you were.
Yeah. I still don't believe him,
So,
but you know.
Yeah.
when should we go and do all this? I assume the sooner the better, yeah?
You're welcome to go right away if you want, or you can rest here.
I mean, I'm fine, guys. I don't need a rest.
I have all of
I
my
think we were
abilities.
waiting.
Yeah.
Aren't we like waiting on figuring out a way to like save Amaya from corruption?
Well, I
Or-
think they need to
that's
christen
the
you
word.
so that we can at least find them. Because I don't think they have a way to save
Well,
them.
yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. I know that. I
The
thought
way
we were,
they talked about it, at least Xavier, in my head, the way they talked about it was like, you being close, maybe you'd realize something?
Or they also mentioned we don't know anything outside of just killing them. But we also don't
Yeah,
know what
so,
that
like-
would do. Yeah.
yeah,
So I
but
feel
yeah,
like
but-
you're being the druid, getting closer, maybe you'll see something nature-wise?
Willowshade will also, if this helps, he'll interject and say what he recommends. Now, again, you guys can do what you want. He's not going to, like, command your group. But he would say, I'd recommend we get Brehick. I'm forgetting on the word, and it's killing me. Oh my
Christened?
god. No, because I keep thinking that, and that's not the actual word. Thank you, initiated. Yes.
I try.
You
Good
do
job,
amazing.
Anna.
Thank you. Good job, Anna. We get Brehick initiated, and then we send you out with Bronwick to scout. Maybe you can learn something from scouting. Then we make a plan of attack.
Bronwick, I don't know if I want that.
Well, I mean, that seems like a much better idea than fucking fuck it, we do it live. But also, that is our specialty.
I'm guessing the... Oh, sorry, Tessara, were you trying to say something?
No, you're good.
I'm guessing the best ending we could hope for is not killing, but saving.
Elder nods.
Oh, think of it this
Well,
way:
we'll try our best.
if we do kill it and it doesn't like cure it or something, then we just killed nature for the entire world.
Woohoo!
Is that supposed to be comforting?
No, just
No,
No,
meaning
it
it's
should
heaven
serve
or
as a
hell.
warning.
Yes, yeah. What Brehick said, we have to do this right, and or look at it this way if you're getting nervous. We either succeed and save nature, or we don't, and nature's dead.
So is the initiation private? Should we just hang around while you do that with Mr. Brehick?
I would look to Elder Willowshade and say, if I have the option, I would like it not to be. They are my family as well. It would be comforting to know that they are at my back.
Normally, I would say it's a private ritual, but considering the circumstances, I'll allow it.
Yippee!
This isn't going to get weird, is it?
It's gonna
Yeah,
get
we're
very
gonna have
weird.
we're gonna have a
get real
huge
quick.
druid orgy at the end. just,
No, I literally was going to make
Like-
that joke, but I'm just like, I don't think.
have you ever
That's
seen
the
Sausage Party? Have you ever seen the ending?
I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take our 15-minute break here right before we get into this ritual. So everyone, do what you need to do. Go to the bathroom, drink some water. We'll be back.
Hell.
All right. Alright, we're back.
Woo woo!
Hello, we back.
Woo woo!
No. No, please.
Ooh.
So-
Stop. No.
Stop.
Please. Don't do it. No.
We're not
My
doing
God,
this.
no.
Oh, Nichan.
You started it!
I know. Anyways, so having decided to initiate Brehek back into the syndicate, basically, all of the main people are gonna go to Ace 4, and then all of you.
Yeah.
Still can't believe that my dog knows the leader of the Verdant Syndicate and they're just friends.
Just like, what up, bro? What up, my
Literally.
dude?
And both of them saw each other, nodded, and said, "We don't need to talk. We're really old. It doesn't matter."
Sup, homie? Sup? Knuckles real quick, and that was it.
Wait, hold on.
Oh no, we come back to this.
No. If that's the great tree, didn't Brehek burn it down?
He did.
Hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
Well,
you would walk
we're
over.
We're gonna come in and they're gonna be like, "Whoa, what happened?" Brick's gonna be like, "We gotta go."
Nope.
But it's
I need you to
Nope.
understand the flash cut of like you leave and you're standing in front of this burning tree with like all 4 syndicate members just G at the tree.
We all look at Brehek.
Shut up. No, you don't.
Elder Willowshade goes, "What happened to the great tree?"
Well, I seem to remember.
So,
it
you
looked
know how-
corrupt as fuck.
What
So
had
you know,
happened was
you know how you kept things from us, well, myself, and the corruption had grown within nature. We should probably put that out.
It was an ancient relic of our people.
It was also really
Every-
corrupted, and Brehek thought it would be best to burn it to, cure the corruption.
I looked at you like, you bitch. I just outright say it.
I have like I feel like you look up at me like, you son of a bitch, and I look down at you with this like shadow over my eyes, just like smirk and like just like heh.
Well,
Consequences of our
yeah, I'll
actions.
remember this.
Well, every chieftain of the Verdant Syndicate burns the old tree and they plant a new one. That tree has been our relic for 800 years.
You see, just like the.
I look over at Elder Willowshade. Oh, you're over 800 years old. Looking sprightly.
Wait, you said every elder burns the tree. Does that mean Brehek's the new elder because he burned the tree?
Wait, chieftain or elder? I thought he said chieftain.
Well, elder and chieftain was interchangeable. He would have
Okay.
said elder. I should have said elder.
Okay.
But you ask that muffin, he says nothing. None of them do for like a solid minute.
Actually, here's a good question before we continue. Is your life force tied to that burning tree?
It's more symbolic than anything.
Not like a you're going to get weaker or die thing?
No. Not unless the roots are burned.
Oh, so you could still die. Alright, hold on. Bucket chain.
What? The roots are not here.
Mm.
This is a seedling. Okay, how do I explain this ritual now? When a new elder is picked for the Verdant Syndicate, they travel to the Great Tree, and they get a seedling, and they bring it back, and they plant it, and it becomes a sister tree to the Great One, where we do our rituals and we initiate new druids.
Okay, so this isn't the Great Tree.
It's a sisterling.
It is a sister tree.
Oh,
But it-
more of a...
Well, it is a symbolization of 800 years of Willow Shade's rule.
Yeah.
If God were to give me a sign to retire, this is it.
I thought you didn't believe in gods.
He looks at you like, where did you hear that?
You literally just burned your father's livelihood.
This is no, me and Emily.
It's like that.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's like that one video where the guy's talking about the spool of wire that he's had for 40 years. And he's like, I've had this spool of wire, and he gets choked up. And it's just like, I burned my dad's spool of wire.
No, it's like that one TLC video of like the guy that had like the porcelain
Oh my god, no!
collection, and then the cameraman's boom
Knocked
mic.
it over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's worse because me and Emily were talking about this yesterday. Actually, Cloudy with a Chance at Meatballs. The fact that the dude basically ran his father's shop out of like his livelihood out of business by making the thing. Yeah.
I'm just looking at Brehik, like no judgment, but just looking at him.
Brehik does not look thrilled at all with himself. At all.
Well, I guess we all have parental figure issues, so... Is there a reason we did come here? Well...
I look at the tree and look at you like, then maybe you should be quiet for once.
Oh, I am. When I'm on the hunt, typically.
You feel Amari whack you, like, in the back of the head.
I look at her like, you know.
She did what she did. And Elder Willow sighs, the heaviest of sighs, and goes, well, I guess that means we can't initiate you. Shit. Which means one of us has to go with you. We can figure that out later. For now, we should focus on scouting, gathering information. Any objections?
I guess a question, why can't we just use the actual tree instead of this one? Is that part of the ritual?
Because that's where Amaya resides.
Oh. Well, if we just know where they're at... Yes, let's do the scouting.
I mean, he's looking at you like, we can't go do the ritual there. Until it's purified.
No, I know, but he's like, if we know where Amaya's at, let's just go to the Great Tree while you hang back and we go deal with it. That's it. That's what he was meaning.
Yeah.
Because it keeps being like, we don't know where they're at, so we have to find them. No, we know where they're at and we can't go there. And it's like, all right, well, which one is it?
Well,
It's more...
I mean, if this tree is going to be gone and we have to take someone with us, why not two birds, one stone? We go, well, not right now, plans or whatever. But when we go to do the thing, bring Bronwick with us and go do the stuff, and then he can come back, plant the thing if Elder Willowshade is looking to retire, and then he could be the chieftain, and we could have helped purify.
I think the issue with bringing somebody with us was that whole thing of they can be turned into
Oh,
animals
fuck.
and killed.
Yeah.
Meaning
And
one of
that's
them is
why.
going to go into the danger zone with us.
I look to him and I say, there has to be some sort of way. Whoever we bring with us is very much in peril. If
We
And I
will
would-
figure something out. For now, let's focus on gathering information.
I mean, look at it this way: if we could just find them without the need of using any of the druids here, then we wouldn't have to bring them.
Well, I think the problem is we can't gain access unless we have one of the branded druids.
To clarify, the Great Tree and Amaya will not reveal themselves to anyone other than a Verdant Syndicate member.
Yeah.
But if you're able to scout, to learn their behaviors, to see it, to make sure they're by the Great Tree still, to get an assessment of what the situation is. I have to send Bronwick anyway. I assumed you would want to go with him simply to, in case something goes wrong, but also to get information yourselves.
Well,
If I'm wrong, you're free to rest at the hideout.
I believe we're all ready to go. We've all had ample rest. We have all had rest since we got head hurty, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm at full and I don't have any resources used, I believe.
I'm close enough to full health. Fine.
Mm-hmm. Technically,
So basically,
actually,
if you don't remember, Xavier, we did
We had a long
the
rest.
head hurdy thing. Didn't we do a
Yeah.
short rest at your place?
No, didn't we
You
do
did a
long...
short rest.
No, didn't we do a long rest?
No, we did it-
because...
No,
Oh, it's just
we've
short
only
rest.
been able to do a short rest. No, I remember all that. That's why I was asking, if everybody's still good from the short rest.
Because I know that
Um,
we left immediately and came over here, and I thought that was in the morning, not after the short rest.
Lastly, any of Bronwick, are you aware of the piercing wells of the Guardian?
His jaw kind of clenches when you ask him. And he goes, yeah. Usually, you'll hear the whales when you're less than a mile out from them. They travel along the ley lines, but they seem to linger around the tree.
DM, I'm so sorry. How much temporary HP did the hot springs give us again?
It gave you bless.
Right, bless. Thank you.
That was only for an hour, though, right?
Yeah.
Do we
Was it? Oh,
do we
damn.
Still have it?
No, not at this. We had a short rest at Brehick's house afterwards.
Thought it was longer.
Mm-mm. The hot springs was a short rest, not his house.
Yeah.
But
Even
it's
that,
also-
it's still been an
even then,
hour
it's still
between that
probably
and the
been an hour,
house and
but
getting
yeah.
back here. Yeah.
Muffin follows Amari.
You'd see Amari. She kind of slinks off a bit, and she'd look at you with a big old smile when you follow.
You alright?
Oh, yeah. It's, weird to be back, but yeah, I'm okay. You okay?
Mm-hmm. Got a little mad at, the Verdant Syndicate, but that's just... I wish people would be more upfront with things.
I mean, yeah, it's... Growing up in a family that was nothing but lies and secrecy, trust me, it gets old really quickly. But also,
Well, you
like,
don't...
you kind of understand it sometimes.
But you don't have to worry about that with me. I'm an open book.
She's like, oh yeah, I know. And she's gonna start trying to lockpick this door.
Sure, cool, alright.
Well, that hurts Van's soul. But he didn't.
What? Okay.
Growing up in a house full of lies and secrecy, and it's just like Van wasn't aware it was a house of lies and secrecy until after he left.
I know.
That's why I said that hurts his soul, but he didn't hear it.
But you'd see her finagling with the lock. She pops it open, kind of peeks her head in, goes inside. Starts rummaging around, looking for something.
Need any help?
Sort of. Okay, so this is Thorn's room, right? I'm looking, so normally he has this sort of, pendant thing that he, carries around with him. And I'm wondering to see if it's in here.
Alright. Cracks knuckles. I'm ready to look.
Alright, you roll me investigation.
Perception now, isn't it?
It's perception.
Oh, it is perception. You are correct.
Yeah.
18.
After, you look around, it is a very, the room is torn apart, right?
Yeah.
It is completely just ransacked. You would notice, immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of, uncomfy things in this room, torture device wise.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Torture or BDSM
Yep.
torture?
No, torture.
Okay.
If it's the Thorn room, I remember. Yep.
And while looking around, you would eventually find a very small, simple-looking amulet.
I boop her cheek. Boop.
Oh, good. Oh my god, awesome. You found it. You would notice this amulet has a black opal inside of it.
Okay.
Not another.
Well, I feel like you go, boop, I found it, and then you flip it over and go, hold on, motherfucker.
Whoa. What What?
She takes it. Well, normally he carried this on him. But because the dragon treasures were looking for opals and stuff like that, he started to leave it behind because he thought it might make him a target. But I don't think this amulet is what they're looking for, considering it's a magic item. So I wanted to give it to you guys.
Oh.
Most certainly what they're looking for if it's a magic item. What the fuck?
It's Amari. Leave her alone.
That's my sister.
But he will he will get very pissed if he finds out that I took it and gave it away. So just maybe return it to him when you're done.
Don't worry. If he even is suspicious at all, just say I took it. He already doesn't like me.
Oh, it's not that. It's just sentimental to him. And he
I've
grew
got
up in
one
a
too.
he basically grew up in a cult, so it's a little hard for him to just, give away an heirloom.
Was it the same cult that you joined that one time, Amari?
It was
What'd you say, Emily?
it was not.
Okay.
I've got
whisper?
one too,
His
actually.
accent, too.
I've got
Right.
one too, and it's sentimental.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Did you get any more information? Did you find anything out?
Did I tell you that my mom's alive?
Briefly, but I didn't know if you found her or reached out to her at all.
Not yet. But, you know, with this whole cleric business, I'm hoping to eventually get enough power to do something like that.
I believe in you.
Muffin smiles.
Just to be safe when you're dealing with all of this. I sort of... Hopefully... Once you're back from scouting, I want to try and convince Elder Willowshade to let me go with you guys. Maybe because I'm so new, it might not affect me as bad.
I mean, you know, I'm always down to adventure with you. I don't know how your brother will feel.
No, she's talking about going to fight Amaya.
I know. That's why I'm saying I don't know how
Oh,
Van would feel.
I thought you were talking about going out and adventuring, like, in general after this, like, after this whole situation. And I'm like...
Yeah, no.
Gotcha.
I don't know how your siblings would feel, but... You know, I'd always be there to protect you.
I'm sure you will. I appreciate it.
Well, should we go catch up with the others?
Yes, yep.
Oh, before you go, I wrap her up in a big hug.
Oh, she gives you a
Missed
huge
you.
hug back.
Missed you.
It's like, I miss you too. We're gonna have to catch up after all this.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you'd walk out with an amulet.
And a
Yes.
huge smile on her face.
Probably a little bit of a blush.
I would look over. Oh, was it a good session? Looking at Amari.
She
Session
looks
of what?
confused.
Smooching? No. Never mind. Breaking and entering. Looks at the amulet.
Yeah, so...
Rick, you would
Thorn
recognize that
has-
amulet, by the way.
I'm
Like, you
trying to
100% know that's the one Thorn always wore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grabbing the party away from Bronwick, by the way, just
Okay.
to talk about this.
Oh, alright. Nah, you literally said you both walk out, she's smiling, you're blushing. I'm like, y'all went in there to kiss and make out. I got it.
So, apparently Thorn had this.
I was going through leaps and bounds and being like, I did not recognize. Fuck. Yes, he did. That is a prized possession of his, something that he wore always.
Do you know what cult he belonged to? Because that's where Amari said he got it.
Huh. No, me and Thorn were always at odds. Always. So we did not speak to each other often, sorry.
Oh no. Was Ivy or Bronwick more pally with him?
Maybe Ivy, but if, to my recollection, me and Bronwick were on the same sides of the coin as with each other on the matter.
Actually, I'm gonna whisper something to Muffin. But it's gonna be very obvious, so
Yes.
I'm just going to say it. Maybe you should hold it up to the thing on the back of Tessa's neck to see if it's like the one you had where she didn't like it.
I don't want to hurt Tess.
Shrugs.
Damn.
I'm assuming you say that out loud, so he shrugs and goes, well, it's worth a shot.
Oh. Like,
Well,
fuck
I
Tess.
put it-
Like, damn.
No,
I pour it on Van.
What?
I pour it on Van's chest. You do it if you're curious. I don't want to hurt her.
Fine. I was going to see if your dad had anything to say about this one similar to Muffin's.
She's like, can I look at it?
Sure, just don't eat it. He tosses it to you.
She'll look at it.
You look at it. It looks like a magical amulet with a black opal.
You hear a voice. Finally, they have collected.
This is a piece of your mother.
A new hand has touched the
Touch the
beacon.
beacon!
Yes!
Put it back, put it back.
No, it's literally just the like Excalibur face immediately. Just like, no.
You fool!
You fool.
Well, no, because the whole thing with the other one, she was able to determine was.
Yeah.
Up by
This doesn't have the same vibe for you.
He's like, no, it doesn't.
The other black opals we've had, they weren't magical, but we did hear them talk about them being made into amulets, though, by the dragon treasures.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Also, mine had something to do with, something with it, because that was... You tried to, was it detect magic or identify, and then everything happened?
I think Bree detect magic did.
And it wasn't good.
Mm-hmm. You will not.
General,
Yes?
did you maybe want to ask Ivy if she knows more about why Thorn has it?
I can, if you want me to.
You got this.
Before you go and do that, cough. Are there... You all had questions. I was not very forthcoming in my answers. I was not ready to speak about a lot. I am now.
Well, I think I've kind of picked up generally what's going on based off of the conversations in the meeting and the interaction. I take it.
Okay, so we're cool. Damn. Okay,
No,
awesome.
he's like, I take it you were a young, impressionable gnome, and Mr. Willowshade over there didn't want you to get the wrong idea, and you were given some type of test, and you didn't agree with the test or something. Because it sounded like, with the way he mentioned and the look on your face when it came to not wanting to kill or whatever decisions, I don't know. I feel like they wanted you to do something, you didn't want to do it, so you left, but maybe being young, you didn't fully understand why they did what they did. Because at the moment, if we're being honest, the Verdant Syndicate kind of is explained and justified everything that they have done up to this point, that I have almost zero qualms with it, really, honestly speaking. Maybe not Thorn, I don't know him very well, but the rest of them. So I take it you also didn't know some of this information, and that guided your actions, correct?
1/3 of that, yes, is correct.
And he just kind of
Is
shrugs. Go ahead, Muffin.
Is what happened the reason that you don't like killing?
He kind of takes a sharp inhale, says, "Yes, it is. The gentleman was a family friend of ours, and he was a good man to us. I would still argue maybe he might still be, but wasn't quite keen on what his actions would bring. But I will never have those answers. No, I was very good at killing, and I was misleading when I said that my part in it was superficial. My name the Butcher of Wynbrook is known very well around these parts and parts near, because I had very much so earned that. I was an enforcer for the Syndicate. So, when Elder Willowshade said jump, I didn't even ask how high. I would jump first, and then ask if it was high enough. It was one of the meanest. Well, I guess second to Thorn, depending on how you look at things. But I was a person, if I came knocking on your door, you knew it was too late.
This might sound like a joke question, but it's not meant to be. Do your parents know about your
No.
stuff?
They only knew that I was troubled, and that I had earned a job working at a local shop. They have, out there, whole town, I assume, has heard various boogeyman stories of the Butcher of Wynbrook, but they have no knowledge of it.
So they probably don't even know about the Syndicate?
They know of the Syndicate, but not of my involvement in them.
Okay, so we don't want to bring that up.
So I guess this
He,
brings-
big eyes. God, don't.
So this brings up a question. Well, actually, two things. One, they are family. And if I've learned anything in my journey on this plane, there's a lot of things that people don't know unless you tell them. And it can never change unless you tell them.
Muffin squeezes Amari's hand.
Do you honestly think your parents wouldn't love you anymore if they knew this?
It isn't that. It is that some things I would rather not people know.
Well, I guess look at it this way. People will eventually find out, one way or another. Would you rather it come from your mouth or someone else's? And I guess I should say that's not a threat of, I'm going to go tell your parents. I'm just saying in general.
I don't believe it will. I don't believe people will, and if they do, it will be of my own accord when I choose so.
The other question, I guess. Based off of what has been said, I take it was the mayor that you had the problem killing, and that's what set you on this path?
He will nod.
He kind of cocks his head a bit, thinking. I guess, would you change what you did knowing what you know now?
If I am honest, yes, I probably would. Like I said, he might have been a terrible, evil man, but if he was, the hold that he had over me is more than he deserved, if that is the case. And if his part in what he did was a misunderstanding on his end, and still, I don't know. In truth, I would have taken back everything if I could. But I will hide my nature no longer. It was foolish of me to assume that I could save everything and everyone.
How do I explain this? You obviously can't change the past. I believe, and I'm not well versed in clerical magics, but there might be something that would let you be able to speak with the dead that isn't horrible necromancy or something. But you might be able to find closure. One way or another, what he did has affected this, even if it was not his intentions. But it's not me justifying your, should I have killed him, not killed him. I'm just making an objective statement, I guess.
I know enough to know that when we did speak in his last moments, I did get the closure that enough closure that as much as I could get. He was ready and at peace with his fate. He knew that when I was there, what it was for. We spoke and we sat for a while, a long while, near each other. And the things that I don't know, I would rather let them be.
If that's the peace that you made, then that's the peace that you've made. The going forward, though, the statement of you can't save everyone, I feel like, I'm hoping I'm wrong, we're not about to jump to a different extreme. Because I want to make it clear, I'm going to speak for myself, I can't speak for anyone else here. I'm not here to just kill. Has it happened that it's harder for me to not kill things in certain circumstances most of the time? Yes. However, most of the fights we have gotten in my mind at least, the enemies that we have faced have been justifiably killable. Minus, I guess if you want an example, the dragon treasure that we didn't kill when we were in... not Wynbrook, sorry. Himmich. It's really hard to know yes or no. And you may never know yes or no. Sometimes it's cut and dry, sometimes it isn't. And I don't want you to be ruthless comparatively, if that makes sense, Brehik.
If it makes you feel better, I am still going to be who I am. Though I'm still trying to grasp my ideals. I understand that not living and doing what we are doing, it is foolish to believe that you can do what we do and not kill at all. But I will still have my ethos in some manner. Though they will need to be adaptive.
Well, I've only got 2 more questions. One, is Elder Willowshade actually your dad? Or is that something you actually don't want to reveal?
This is, with all respect, something that I find a personal question that I would rather not speak on.
Alright. The last question, are you going to put a shirt back on at all? Because if you don't, and we walk into your parents' house and you have a butcher right across your chest...
have to. If I walk around town like this, I assume we will be arrested, and if not, myself executed immediately. If any of you would care to become rich, I think there is a pretty big bounty on my head. Well, on the butcher's head.
Dead or alive, because last time we did that with Tess, I mean, it turned out to be a trick by the dad, but we still got paid.
I believe it is only dead. I believe the only option is dead.
Well, that's a bit harder. Alright, well, I guess we have to go scout now. Boy.
Are you wanting to talk to Ivy, or are you just going to scout?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
I guess I should go talk to Ivy. Yes.
You don't need to. I just need to know what you're doing.
I forgot said I would go do that, but then we got on a different topic. Yes.
Can I catch Brehik's eye and do a little private conversation with him afterwards?
Yeah, if you want to do that first.
Nope, it can be after.
Okay. Yeah, so you go up to Ivy, who is kneeling by some of the ashes of this burning tree, and she seems to kind of be like scooping them into a pouch.
Well, how are you doing this fine evening?
You know, just lazing about, doing some minor chores, trying to get the stench of death and the screams of my people out of my head. How are you?
Hopefully trying to prevent any future of that. But, we have a question, at least regarding Thorn. Do you know more about that amulet he has?
Amulet. The family one?
Yes, with the black opal that the dragon treasures keep, looking for.
I know they were looking for black opals and he chose not to wear it for a while, but I didn't think it was one they were looking for.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know which ones they are looking for, or what the criteria is.
I mean, I don't either, but what do you want to... I guess... What about it?
I guess, do you know more information outside of a family heirloom? Maybe what cult he belonged to?
I mentioned that. It... It was a small compound in the south. They weren't anything well known or whatnot, but they were called the Cult of the Hinterland Sun. They were small in numbers, but they're all dead now.
Well, what did they involve themselves in? Most cults serve some type of goal or religion or something.
He didn't talk about it much. I know that Willowshade brought him when he was just a kid. Apparently, Amaya chose him because he survived when the others didn't. When he arrived, he didn't speak for days. Actually, it's probably closer to weeks. But he always had that amulet.
I guess the reason I ask is we've obviously seen the other opals that the dragon treasures are, so we've seen amulets similar. We're not really sure of where they were made, who made them, what their purpose is.
Well, they never seemed interested in it, and any research we've done on it hinted that it wasn't it didn't hold the magical properties that they were looking for, but we could always be wrong.
What magical properties does it hold, then?
That we're not sure. We do know that some of the magic that comes from the black opals they're collecting can hold necromancy of some sort. But we haven't found much beyond that.
And this one that he has does the same?
If we're being honest, the one he has is just a completely separate magic item. His parents gave it to him, and it meant a lot to him.
Well, that's what I mean. What does the magic item do?
Oh. I believe they called it a sanctum amulet. For those who don't know, I will display the item.
resistance to necrotic damage. You can cast Spare the Dying as a bonus action or an action. When somebody's reduced to 0 hit points as a result of taking damage, you can use your end action to invoke the item's rune, causing the pendant to flash with pale light. They then drop to 1 HP. Wow, that's really good. Do we have to give this back?
It's very... But because it had a black opal, he chose not to wear it for a while. However, we're worried that it might have been his downfall. Maybe that's why he was taken in the first place.
Well, we were told that there was a something operation going on up here trying to get a black opal from your guys' organization. So I don't know if they're actually looking for this, or if they thought they were looking for it. Interesting. Well, thank you for your time, Ivy.
Stay safe.
Yes. And if you're trying to do what you said, it might be better to take a moment elsewhere. Me and Brehik did organize, or at least try to give some rights to the bodies when we were here the first time.
We appreciate it.
Well, I guess he'll walk back over and relay the information once Muffin and Brehik are done in their corner.
Does Brehik come over?
Sorry, I was trying to find you on the map.
It's all good.
I was dying for a sec.
Mr. Brehik, I have something I want to say, and it's also going to tie into some advice I want from you. I know that you're probably pretty set on not telling your parents about everything. But would you allow me to say my piece on that?
I will.
We've talked about how my sister is probably a bandit on the sort of continent barrier. I can't think of the word, I'm so sorry. We've talked about that. And for a while, I was struggling in if I could forgive her for that. Because if she's with the people that I'm thinking of, they're the reasons we were split up in the first place. It's been a long time since I've seen her. And I think you and I both know to live in this world, you have to do bad things sometimes. Right?
He nods.
So, being how much time that's passed, I can only imagine the things she's had to do. And like I said, I didn't know how I would feel about it. She puts a hand on your shoulder. I've realized now all that matters, besides everything else, is I want to see my sister again. the bad stuff doesn't matter as much. Because I love her. I know that you might be scared or you just don't want to burden them with your past, but if you love them and you believe they love you the same, don't you feel like they deserve to know?
He is quiet for a while. Like not looking at you, just kind of like staring at the ground, seems to be calculating what you're saying. He will say, "Thank you, Muffin. I will heed your words and deliberate on them."
I hope that when I do meet my sister, I'll have your support. Because I might need it, even if I'm happy to see her.
He holds your hand and he will say, "You will always have my support, no matter what you do." And then he will give you a big hug.
In return.
Death flag.
What?
For her.
I don't know, one of you.
Hey, we never know how bad this tree fight's gonna go.
Oh, you're saying now one of us is marked for death now?
Yeah, death
We have-
flag.
Yep.
Yeah, you just got a flag. It's a flag.
But hey, Rehig did say, if, you know, it is possible and he's willing to accept it.
Alright, we'll head back to the group. I can't believe it, Mr. Brehick. We're 2 days from retirement.
Say that to Elder Willow Shade, whose retirement is burning to the ground.
His no, you literally took his 401k and put it in a blender.
Oh my god.
But I would.
He's not, like, I gotta point it out to Brehick, he's not, like, mad at you, he's just like, huh, that happened.
I should have expected it. I don't know why I didn't.
Like, he can't blame you, because you didn't fucking know. He can't blame you, but it was just like, huh.
Van would explain the little bit that he learned about the amulet to the party. It wasn't actually a whole lot. So...
Muffin's gonna look to Amari and sort of give her, like, do you want me to ask Van? Do you want to talk to Van?
She gives you this smile and just mouths the words later.
Okay.
Because you're gonna go scouting, so she's like, we don't need to decide now. But Bronwick will come over and say, alright, we need to get going. And if everyone's good, he will start walking.
Yeah.
Alright. I am going to show you the map.
As we go.
You are not in this fight, but
along.
basically, you would be following Bronwick through the woods, through a series of, like, mountains and brush, climbing over, like, cliff sides, hills, whatnot. Okay.
Yeah.
However, as you are traversing eventually, you would see a really unsettling sight.
Oh boy. Oh, is that a river of blood?
No, it's fucking the inside
Kool-Aid
of
packet.
the Kool-Aid Man. Yeah.
Ah, Jello, my old nemesis.
I'd actually probably be really concerned about a river of fucking jello in the middle of the woods. If I'm being honest with you. More
This is
so
where the
than
game
blood.
takes an entire tonal shift.
Yeah,
It's
like
now
more so
all,
than
like,
blood.
sweet.
Because blood, it's like, nah, I get it. It's corrupt. Nature's getting fucked. You know, it's killing people. I get it. A blood river. But if it was jello.
Like, does like that hunter thing where he pats the dirt and puts it in his mouth? My god, we've reached King Candy's land.
My god. It's like, my god.
Stop!
Splenda.
That is like the best Dimension 20 game. It's just the basically Game of Thrones but with candy. It is
Yeah.
wild. If you ever need a good show to watch. But
That's
as you approach the bridge, you would watch as Braun kind of like kneels down to examine the water, and he says, "All right, we should be getting close. Although it wasn't this bad yesterday."
How bad was it?
Well, the water didn't look clean, that's for sure. The water supply was poisoned, and there were carcasses floating down. Now it seems to just be the blood of all the animals in the forest.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
There aren't fish in there, are there?
Not anymore.
Oh, there might be something.
Ooh.
Okay.
Here's a question. Nature is literally dying, so it wouldn't create some monstrosity that might be in there.
Why? Why?
You take a step back.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Do we gotta get across the bridge to the other side?
Break sprints. I'm just kidding.
May I take a perception check to see if I see any movement in this blood river?
Yeah.
How quiet are we
Anyone
trying
want to
to
join
be?
me?
Sure,
I don't
I'll
know
help you.
because I might be casting a spell.
29.
Wait. Fuck. Never mind. You rolled a 29, so I don't need to.
29. You kind of look around the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
The blood. And you don't see any creatures in there.
Uh-huh.
But you do just get this feeling that it's really uncomfortably, like, it's unsettling. And you see, like, bones resting at the bottom of this river.
Is
A
it,
lot of bones.
Is it flowing? Or is it
Yes.
stagnant? Interesting.
It's flowing.
Where?
Upstream. Now, Brehik, you remember this river, because you remember upstream is where you fought the earth elementals.
Mhm.
Wait, the water's flowing the wrong direction upstream? Is that what you mean?
No. Like, it's flowing, but Brehik knows that it comes upstream from this water basin, this, like, waterfall.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is it weird I want to dip something in?
I probably shouldn't.
I would not do that.
But
Snap a twig off on this tree, and then
I run over to Brehik, being my...
Oh.
Yes.
hold on. I snap two twigs off. Actually,
Two
I would hand
swigs.
one to you. Yeah, 2 swigs.
yeah, take
I
two
would
swigs
hand
of
one
the
to
river
you.
water.
I'm so
And
glad Brehik shares my brain.
I would give you one, and I would stick it in with you.
Yep. Is it like water? Or is it like thick?
When you pull the stick out, it is, like, melting.
Oh.
Wait, what?
That's
Acid-
what I was
Acid
thinking.
blood river, guys. Let's go.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
Love that.
Wait. Okay, I feel like I could speak for Mo in this. Zelina would totally take a vial of this if she could.
Oh yeah.
I can ask Mo, and then we'll see if because I know Mo's like probably sleeping. I'll ask him at one point, like if he retroactively wanted to do it, I'd let him do it.
Yep.
Everyone be careful. It seems that the river is acidic. On top of...
I see you trying
I
to.
so
I
bad.
see you trying, and I made it this way on purpose.
I am angry about it.
See you
What?
trying. What are you trying?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Anna?
A sneaky
Measuring.
sneak.
Measuring was what I was doing.
Oh, to teleport?
I was trying to see if there was any spot.
So, are we going across this bridge now? Or are we coming back later?
That's what I
He
was...
nods like we're going across.
Well, that's what I have to ask
Cool.
Bronwick. How quiet are we trying to be right now?
We don't need to be quiet yet.
Well, when you fall in that water, we'll talk about it. And I will go to cross the bridge.
If you attempt to cross the bridge, you have to make me a general athletics or acrobatics check.
Love that.
Oh.
Here's the
Come here,
question.
Tess.
Can I carry Drezel, or does Drezel have to make the check himself?
He needs to make the check himself.
God damn it.
Come here, Tess. I'll give you a guidance.
I
Oh, hey, you can do
appreciate
that.
it.
For Van.
Well,
You pass.
I'm going
and
to
for
need it.
I'm gonna pat Dressel quickly. Guidance. Not Dressel.
11.
That passes.
I was really hoping it's not a super high DC to go
It's
across
not a
the
high
bridge.
DC.
I pat Tess next.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Hold on. I'm gotta fucking roll that shit. Let me bring it up.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Token
I
does not have
know.
the correct
I'm
number, I think.
gonna probably be.
There
let's
we go.
Jesus Christ.
2d4. You got this? 9.
9.
Passes.
Yeah.
Oh,
DC is 8.
okay. I pat Brun.
So yeah, you go over Tess, but you kind of start to wiggle a bit. You start to kind of lose your balance.
Hey, if your dad hates the sea, I wonder how he feels about Acid Blood River.
Just, hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna roll for Zelina.
I pat guidance.
I gotta pull up her sheet. I should have had her sheet pulled up, but I think I accidentally closed out of it. Oh, it's on Roll20 now. That makes sense. Nope, that's her art. There's the sheets. Zelina. Hold on. Doesn't she have that, like, Misty Step thing that she does?
I mean,
Yep.
she has a
Yeah.
lot of ways to cast Misty Step, but I don't know if it's longer than 30. Yeah, it's more than 30, so they still have to make the check either way.
Yeah.
You literally saw me measuring for the same thing.
And told her she couldn't do it, but no, they have the racial thing that I can also do, but it's only 30 feet, and then Misty Step is only 30
That
feet.
was to me, but she rolled a 9.
With a D4?
Oh, no. With a 4.
13.
13.
Good. I pat Bron.
He would go. I will roll for Braun. That's a D4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you sound
Your
like you
brother's
need it?
about to die of acid.
Your
blood.
boy got over.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Alright,
am I gonna have
you're-
to
I
you're
jump?
also
fast.
did it. I totally did that. The psych out. He got in that 20.
Oh, okay.
He
You
walked
fucker.
across with no issue.
Me or you first?
You go ahead.
Okay, tap me on the back.
Oh, for guidance? Yeah. Gotcha.
Alright.
I do.
What? No need. Muffin skips.
Okay,
Tap
I
yourself on the
also cast
back.
guidance. And I
Oh no!
You gotta get lucky. Yeah.
Oh,
Same roll as Tess.
I feel like you start crawling at one point on your knees.
oh no. Oh no, it is the whole like old person walking on a walker, kind of like hand, feet follow,
Oh.
hand, feet follow.
Yes.
Oh,
You know what's not gonna be fun? Going back.
hopefully by that time, everything we cleanse everything, and we
Not
don't
if-
have to worry about it.
Not if we're just scouting.
Or just scout.
Oh,
We're just scouting. Fine.
May I say it, Mr. Brehick?
yes, please.
Oh, Puddin.
Dear Lord.
I am curious. How long have you waited to say that?
So long.
I pat you on the back. Say congratulations, Muffin. You did wonderful.
Might need a drink after this one. Just like.
As you are traversing, you finally come to this. You notice the shift in the air immediately. This thick, heavy miasma that surrounds this area.
Uh-oh.
And as soon as you enter it, you feel the pressure sort of like pressing in on your chests, getting harder to breathe. And as you're, I'm assuming, climbing to look at this like a ledge to like look over,
Hmm.
you would see this site. I'm going to show you the map.
Do.
Oh,
Oh look, a tree.
Ah.
so grand.
Oh, and skeletons around
Oh
it.
look, yeah, and bodies wrapped up in
Mhm.
web.
Webs.
It's more just supposed to be like hanging corpses from this tree.
Oh.
Oh, what's that song?
Oh,
Do you?
Oh, the hanging tree?
Do you? Oh no, the hanging tree. Whatever the song is,
But-
yeah.
Yeah, from Hunger Games. But the thing that stands out the most, a gargantuan creature with a
Not
skeletal-like body, ethereal in color, with several lynched corpses hanging from
Oh,
its antlers.
hell.
hello?
It's
The
so
corrupt
badass.
steed.
Hello.
Look at the
motherfucker.
antlers.
Yeah, they got bodies, and the eyes on the bodies are glowing.
Hey, do you
In
recognize any of those
retrospect-
bodies?
You don't, but just in retrospect, that's how big it is on the map.
Oh, cool.
It's
Huh?
gargantuan.
Vavoso.
So that's how big Tidal Weaver was at the end of it, right?
She was huge.
No, when she like
went
did
from
her
large
big
to
move.
huge.
Oh, damn, so this is bigger.
This is 20 by 20 square or bigger as a gargantuan creature.
This is
Love that.
right. 1, 2, 3.
Well, that's
4.
diagonal.
No, yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So, four squares.
Okay.
We gotta. Guys, might as well just fight it now.
Jesus Christ.
Do we really want to leave after scouting and then come back?
I don't know if I want Amari here.
Exactly.
Looking out into this like creature, right?
Oh, its throat segmented inside its mouth.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
It's a horrific sight as it limbers and sort of drags itself around this clearing, sort of patrolling, almost protecting what looks like a very similar tree to the one that was in the Syndicate's hold.
Can I whisper very quietly to Broadwick? Alright, I'm gonna be real with you. That's what an imbalance of nature can cause? That looks like somebody did something to it.
Unfortunately, you can't.
Oh, I can't talk.
Oh, hell.
As
Pick
you
this
go to turn to Braun, who is clutching their head
Uh-oh.
in pain.
Shit.
Oh.
And you watch as the fur on their body starts to
No.
manifest,
Can
their
we-
bones
Oh.
shifting.
Can we try to
Yes.
pull him away? Like, as soon as we see it going, Van goes, alright, nope, and like just starts grabs him and just starts fucking booking it back the way we came.
Are you guys are trying to just run now with him?
Yeah, because I'm like,
Yeah, with him.
what they said
Well,
is that it would turn
we can-
people and then they would die afterwards. Even if it turns him, we might still be able to keep him from dying. But we gotta get away from
Let's
it
try, yeah.
immediately.
You take Braun, you start sprinting.
Ah, shit.
He is a big fucking man. And you watch.
I'm a strong girl.
No, yeah, you are. You're all trying to pull him as you are retreating and fleeing. You watch as his body continues to contort, reshape. Tusks turning into fangs. His eyes keep shifting between that of humanoid and animal. But as soon as you sort of sprint through that thick miasma wall, he would, you collapse onto the soil, and you watch as those animalistic features do start to retreat.
Okay.
As he is
Well,
on his hands and knees, basically huffing.
Well, alright.
Braun, my brother, I know you wish to help, but you need to stay here. I'll go back and warn the others not to come here. I look to you guys and I say, I do not want to risk anyone else, especially Amari. And
Yeah, we're not bringing Amari here.
We
And
were
if
going to
this
bring
is
Amari here.
and if this thing is here right now, to very much side skirt that. If this thing is here now and we know where it is, I think we should just
We
should go for it.
I don't disagree, but we have to test something with what he said. If we don't have someone here, we can't see it. Like, it won't appear. We need to test that.
Yeah. No, hopefully what Willowshade said was, hopefully what Willowshade said when he said once we finally got a view on it, it proves to, well, all we can do is go the direction that we came.
I
And,
can make us
you
quieter
will-
if we want to look at it. Again. To try to
Brihick
fight it.
will... Brihik will begin to pray to his god to guide them back through and not let me kill my friends as an animal, or at least try.
I mean, you didn't turn when you were there.
I didn't. You're right.
Right.
Huh.
And we
But
don't
you should
know-
still do that to see if there's a way to cure it,
Oh,
not
yeah.
kill it.
We don't.
Oh yeah, I still do.
We also don't know if, because basically, technically, all druidic power comes from them, so all druids get corrupted by it. You didn't. It makes sense why I didn't, because my magic's not from them, but you didn't. But you're also not. You didn't perform the
Oh.
ritual. So it's like,
Yeah,
we
but
don't
what
know.
if my druid powers don't come? That's
They don't-
fucked up. I don't
So-
know. That's
Yeah.
weird.
There's
To clarify.
questions, yeah.
To clarify, because you would know this. So how he had explained it was all of the druids all belong to the Verdant Syndicate. Like, they seek out the druids.
Oh.
So it might be
Verdant
a tree
Syndicate-
thing.
It's more of a curse thing. The Syndicate failed to do their job, so as a result, this is happening to them.
Oh, and you're not a member of the Verdant Syndicate because
I'm
you
not
were
a
never
member.
branded, but they were going to do the ritual that was going
Oh,
to make you a
maybe.
member.
Yeah. Maybe it's better this
So,
way.
like, actually, that's a good question. Maybe the idea, the whole reason he said you wouldn't affect you was because you were made a member after everyone was cursed and failed.
Yeah, that is what he was saying.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you want to do your thing?
Yeah.
I am also am gonna do my Sverfenibelin camouflage. Sverfenibelin camouflage.
Because I will 100% cast Pass Without a Trace to.
Yeah.
to.
So you all want to roll stealth?
Stealth.
Okay, don't do an hour.
Stealthy stealth. I'm gonna whack
Oh well, I didn't need
to
to.
Sarah.
Thank you.
Oh shit! Yes. Then.
Give it to Drizzle. My stealth is higher than his.
Drizzle.
21.
35.
Oh wait, what? No, your sister or fucking
Oh,
Zelda's good.
Zelina's technically is
at-
here. Yeah.
She's good at
22 for
stealth,
Drizzle.
right?
She has a +1.
She has +1.
Oh, okay, then I will give it to her instead.
Okay.
Yeah. But everybody looks to be getting above 20s, so.
Me and Russell got 21.
+27 for Zell.
This thing might have a passive of like 23, so.
But yeah, you make your way back through the miasma. And unlike before where you had very clear, like a distinct path to follow, it gets thick and hard to kind of see and navigate through. And there is like a moment where it is just coated and it's really hard to even tell which way you came from.
Can I attempt to roll a survival check with our footprints that we made when we left?
Can I help?
You can.
Oh, actually, can I also roll separate? Because I have a good survival, I forgot.
Yeah.
You
I
can roll.
who wants guidance?
I have a +9.
You guidance him, I will guidance myself.
Okay.
I have a +8.
Something
So-
is gonna happen though, so.
It's not fair. I was just like, I would assume that this would be something Van would try to do, is to try and get, find my way
Amazing.
back. But that's a 16.
16 and then yeah, you look for your footprints, you don't see them.
Dang.
Cool.
As you're looking around, you're trying to figure out like where you're at, where you need to go. Brihik,
Oh no, yes.
you hear a very soft, gentle, almost like whimpering.
Do you all hear that?
do we?
No.
Oh, nope, but hey, maybe you have voices in your head.
Can I do... Fuck, I don't know. Can I do like a perception to see...
Yeah. Roll perception.
Does it seem... Ooh, 23.
It's kind of, you realize it's coming from all around you. And as you're looking, trying to identify the source of this, you realize it's coming from the nature. You realize it's sort of coming from all of this, the soil, the grass, the trees, the wind, everything surrounded in this miasma is crying.
Weird thing. He's going to kneel down, touch the soil, say, "By Hela's grace, I promise I will right this wrong." And he's going to try to cast do Druidcraft. See what happens.
Is it just Brick that hears this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Bloom.
and you watch as very small grayish flowers. One blooms, followed by another, and then another. And you realize they lead a trail.
That was just me being like, fuck, I wonder. Everyone, this way. Follow the flowers.
Well, that's
We
what
got
I
your
do.
back.
And as you follow the flowers, you would hear on the wind, Brehik, just the very softest "thank you."
As he pats the soil. I'm trying to soothe the earth as much as he can.
And you would make your way to the corrupted steed of Amaya, and we will end the session here tonight.
Hold on.
Damn.
Oh boy.
I have a
Yes.
legitimate question about what you just said. Just so that I'm clear on this. The corrupted steed of Amaya. This isn't Amaya. Is that what you're saying? Why'd you get so quiet?
No, because I'm looking at a thing. It is... her avatar is the best to explain it.
Okay.
Hmm.
I thought you were pulling a thing that you didn't think we would catch of the corrupted steed of Amaya, and I'm like, wait, this isn't actually
No,
Amaya,
like,
it's her
not.
steed.
It's not Amaya, but it's her avatar. Like, it is a living, breathing symbol of her. Like, it is... if you kill the avatar, it doesn't always...
Kill them.
like, if you know anything about a
Say-
god, right?
No, yeah,
you
they
kill
have
the
avatars.
avatar of a god.
It doesn't necessarily mean the god died. It just means that their connection or their vessel on this plane is gone until they make a new
Yes.
one or something. Yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
But we're gonna end session here.
Thank you guys so much for watching. This was episode
Boy.
38 of Chronicles of the Grand Nation, The Silent War. Please join us next week and my fellow players when we do probably a big boss fight. Thank you guys
It's
so
gonna be
much
a
for
fun
watching.
boss fight.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Take care of yourselves.
Good